rolled out the red carpet for us. Good morning, day 3, Tuesday, September 16th. Today we will be in Astoria, Oregon. Pretty excited. Not only is it a port I've never been in, it's actually a city that I've never been in either. So I'm looking forward to have a chance to see the Columbia River and do a couple of things in Astoria. We don't have a lot of time. We don't get in until 10 a.m. and then all aboard is at 4:30. And since I'm not one to push it, really means that I'll have only about 5 hours on the ground in Astoria. I think my plan is to head off toward the Maritime Museum and see a little bit of downtown while we're here. There's a lot of other things that I'd like to go do. See Fort Clatsop and the entire Lewis and Clark history stuff that the National Park Service has. I'd like to see the Goonies house and maybe some of the other filming things that are here, but there just isn't time for all of that. My plan is going to be to get off the ship and try to ride the trolley that they have along the waterfront here. It's supposed to be super affordable. I think it's only $1 each way. I've read some things that make it appear that the trolley doesn't begin running until 1 p.m., which would basically eat up half the time that we have in port. So if that turns out to be the case, I'll have to figure out another way to get to downtown. We'll see what options are available when we get there.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Stig and welcome to Astoria. It was rather windy approach here, but it seems like it's calming down now.
So the announcement from the captain came 9:21 a.m. So that's pretty early. Okay, let's go get off the ship. So the gangway's right here on deck 4 today.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure what you had here.
Thank you. You can smell the sea air down here.
Try a sample?
I'd love one.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day. I'll see you when you get back.
They're just not giving us enough food on the ship, so you know I gotta eat something. So they have shuttles to the column, although that's next year's date. As I film this, it's 2025. Kind of funny.
Bus tickets available both left and right side of the ship.
So is the bus to downtown the same as the one to the column, or are they different?
No, you'll have to get off at the first stop, and then there'll be a separate bus to take you up to the column. These buses are too big to get up the hill to go to the column.
I
So
see.
you end up on a smaller bus.
Oh wow, because they're
double-decker
double-decker buses. See, is the trolley running right now?
It will be in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm gonna walk over here to the trolley stop, see how that works. This here says 1.3 miles to downtown. I think when I measured it on Google Maps, the distance to the museum is 1.7 miles. It's worth noting, if you didn't catch it, that it's cash only to ride those buses, so make sure that you bring cash with you. I think what I'm going to do is come down here by the trolley, check and see if I can figure out when it might be coming. When I looked it up before, it said it doesn't run until 1, but I have a feeling that since there's a ship in port, that it will be running earlier. If not, it would do me some good, burn off some calories to walk the mile into downtown, so I'll probably do that. I'll check out the museum first while I'm down there, and then try to catch the bus to go up to the Astoria Column. That should be a pretty good port day. I see a lot of people walking that way, but I also see railroad crossing signs right here. So I think the trolley stop could be just be on this corrugated building here. So yes, the tracks are just beyond the corrugated building, but it looks like the station is down here. So the people who walked to the left were smarter than me. As the closest stop is to the left, and it's right here in front of us. I see a lot of people making the hike so I wouldn't be the only one. It does here say the schedule is from 1 until 4. Flag down the trolley anywhere by waving a $1 bill, and we'll stop for you if space is available. So I guess theoretically I can just start walking, and if the train shows up, I could get on it. And it looks like you could do the whole round trip for $1 if you don't get off when you get downtown. If you just stay on it, it's only $1. And hop on, hop off all day, $2. I mean, is there anything more reasonable than that? That's a pretty sweet looking trolley too. Okay, I'm going to set my Garmin and start hiking. That way I'll be able to report to you exactly how far it is. That sign there said it's only 3/4 of a mile, so I've seen a lot of conflicting information between what Google told me to the museum, what it said over there by the guys selling the bus tickets, and then right here along the river walk where it said it's only 3/4 of a mile. Let's see. And it looks like we're already coming to the next station stop. Garmin says that we are at 0.19 right now, so only 300 meters. So here's the first station after the one that I walked past. 0.23, so almost 1/4 mile. Oh, I see. So the one earlier that said 3/4 must have been measuring from the west end, because now this one says 1 mile. Oh, in fact, right there, west end, 1 mile. So according to this, we're a mile from town. I'm at 0.24. I can handle 1.25 mile walk. Sure is pretty here. The bridge is actually 4.1 miles across. That shows you just how wide the river is here. More than 4 miles. Bridge was built in 1966, and it's called the Astoria Megler Bridge, because the name of the town on the other side is Megler, Washington. It's US 101. So this is kind of fun. The river walking path shares the bridge with the trolley. I suppose it was originally built as a railroad bridge. Kind of cool to be walking down railroad tracks. That seems to jive with my watch, which is indicating that we're a half mile into the walk right now. You can still see the ship poking out from behind the buildings under the bridge back there. Looks like we have another one of these bridges where we share with the trolley tracks. Looks like there used to be a wharf of some kind here. Some kind of a building on stilts, perhaps. I wonder what that was. Here we're coming up on the next station along the way. My watch is measuring it at 0.70, so almost 3/4 of a mile. I think I made a good choice by not waiting for the trolley, because no trolleys have come by in either direction. Well, this says that we're only 0.3 miles to downtown. Good morning. I think my walk might be a little further because the museum's on the far side of downtown. But since I'm making such good progress, already 3/4 of a mile in, should be just fine. And it's a beautiful walk here too. Boats flying a flag of the National Geographic Society. And I think it says on the bow, National Geographic Seabird. So I don't know if it's a scientific ship or just a tour ship organized by the National Geographic Society. Boy, when I was younger, I used to collect all of those magazines. In fact, I probably have a whole bunch of them still around the house from National Geographic. Every month. Way back when I was a kid, my grandfather even sent me a subscription as a Christmas gift. Here we are at the next stop already, 6th Street, and I'm at 0.87, 7/8 of a mile, or 1,400 meters. Well, let's see here. Here's the 6th Street stop right there. Wow, it looks like there's a substantial number of stops still remaining. There's the Kindergarten Cop School. All right, onward. So are these just barrels of beer sitting out here behind the building? They have to be empty, right? You wouldn't just leave thousands of gallons of beer. That's interesting because they're all wrapped up in cellophane. Here's the next stop, the 9th Street stop. I'm measuring it at 1.02, so we've come 1 mile now. My distances could be a little bit longer than the actual distance because I seem to be meandering a lot. So that could add, who knows, a few percent to the distance. Sears Roebuck and Company. These murals are very different than your normal mural. So I think this is the area that they're referring to when they were giving the distances to historic downtown. I'm at 1.30 right here. There's the next trolley stop, 14th Street. I'm not sure how much further the museum is. Like I said, when I measured it on Google Maps, it was 1.7. So I should be less than a half mile to get to the museum. Also, now that I'm down here, I'm not sure where I would catch the bus to go to the Astoria Column that the gentleman was telling me about. Although I do see a bus pulling out up there, so maybe that's some sort of a transit center. Actually, I feel like this building here on the left with the flag in front of it is going to be the museum. Yep, because I see the riverboat behind it. So we've made it, well, almost 1 1/3 miles here. So I bet you we can see the museum and then get the bus to the column from right in front of the museum. So I'm going to mark the distance to right here. Came out to be 1.52. Took me about 36 minutes to walk it. Of course, you could walk it faster. I stopped a lot and took pictures, meandered across the path several times. But half an hour is probably a reasonable estimate for how long it takes to walk over here from the cruise port. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
The Lightship Columbia is included?
Yes.
So I'll get to see both for one admission price. Perfect, thank you so much.
There's 2 types. The green ones have bells, but the red ones are called whistle booms.
Okay.
So there's this bellows of a whistle right here that emits a low hum, but the chamber that actually kind of collects the air is underneath and through the bottom of it. And so as it goes up, it collects air, and then as it goes down, it blows all of that excess air out.
Okay. Wow, this place is big. And this is a map of all the shipwrecks. Holy cow. Some cases the crew were saved. In other cases, the crew on board were lost. Well, that's even more tragic than the shipwreck itself, obviously. Incredible to have a whole section of a museum just focused on shipwrecks. The estimate is that 3,000 shipwrecks are here at the mouth of the Columbia River. That's devastating. Here are some artifacts from the SS Laurel, which was shipwrecked here. And there's the ship's clock, as well as the navigation compass. And the sextant, SS Iowa. Looks like a portion of the wheel there. In fact, that's what it says, pilot wheel fragment. So this is called a Fresnel, not Fresno, the name of my hometown, but a Fresnel lens that they put into a lighthouse. That's how they can shine so far. Watch the light move across on the wall. Pretty cool. Over here in this area, have maritime related artwork. Beautiful lighthouses, tugboats in the swell, freighters, and this galleon here. Some longboats from the native Chinooks. They made their canoes not by taking lumber and building a boat, but instead by hollowing out a giant log. And this wing seems to show military uses, the defense of the river. It's a 20mm anti-aircraft gun. All the shipbuilding they did here during World War II. 35,000 workers in Portland and Vancouver, Washington, and here in Astoria. So it looks like every Japanese soldier in World War II had one of these flags, and they carried messages that were written by their families. And then as the war went on, U.S. troops, when they killed or captured, the Japanese would take the flags. And so that's where these came from. Over here we have the story of the salmon canneries. All of these old labels. Some are even familiar today. And this is Hugo, ¿y cómo te llamas?
Víctor.
Victor.
Es mi hijo.
Mérida, Yucatán, Mexico. And today's Mexican Independence Day,
Yes.
so they're celebrating here in Astoria with us. They're on the Serenade of the Seas as well.
Yes.
Very cool. Gracias por hablar conmigo. Postcard Dan, como tarjeta postal.
Uh-huh. This one?
That's me.
Okay. Una foto.
Gracias.
A ti. Dan, nos vemos.
Okay. Nos vemos en el barco.
Sale.
Okay, que pase buen día.
Igual.
Gracias. I'll get a magnet here. This shows why it was good for me to walk instead of take the bus, because now there's a huge line of people. Now we're going to check out the Lightship Columbia, which I think is this red-hulled ship here. Good morning.
Now all that's out there is a little buoy like they have in the river because of GPS. Don't need anything. 2, 3, 4. Okay.
So it's a mobile lighthouse, and because they couldn't really build a good lighthouse there, they used these ships and basically just stayed in one place. I'll have to confess that I didn't even know a lightship was a thing. It looks like the guys lived on here, watched TV. So this looks like the mess. With the number of seats, tell me that there were more people on this thing than I would think that would be needed. just to have a stationary ship, but there are 12 seats here. And these guys just lived out here for who knows how long at a time. Looks like upholstery from the 1970s, doesn't it? Probably had a chair like that in our house, 1975. So how many men were on here at any given one time?
Well, there was 18 assigned aboard.
Okay.
But a third of the crew was always on shore leave because it stayed out there. And so for every 2 weeks you spent out there, you got a week on shore. So they'd have a supply ship come from Tongue Point, which is just east of us. They'd bring the fuel, the water, the food, trade the crew, because this ship had to stay on station at all times.
So the men were out there for 2 weeks at a time?
Well, usually it was 4 to 6 weeks. And then they'd get like 4 weeks, they'd get 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Sometimes it would be longer because in the wintertime maybe they couldn't get out there. The weather was really bad, and so yeah, they might have to stay out there a little longer, but that's what they tried to do.
So
a rotation.
And 18 were assigned, so 12 were on board at any one time.
Gently place it down. And sit back down.
So that's how they
And let the other side do that as well.
So this is how the trolley reaches the end of the line, and then they change the direction that the people are facing. How cool is that?
Wow.
That's amazing. So the Astoria Column is visible from here, directly above that buoy. You can see it sticking up on top of the hill. So now I'm going to try to catch the bus and get up there. The volunteers here have told me that that bus can be caught at the corner of 10th and Commercial. So I'm going to head over there now. This museum is at 17th Street. So I'm assuming then that I've got to go 7 blocks. Let's go check out this first. I saw it on the way up, but I didn't stop to see what it is. It appears to have a lot of informational boards, maybe some information about maritime history, which seems to be very important here in Astoria. So this seems to be Nordic history. Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. And then the American flag as well. Scandinavian Benevolent Society, founded 1887 here in Astoria. Can you find the 6 trolls? I see 1, 2, 3. There's a 4th one. Here's the other trolls. 1 there. 1 over here. So he's made it up to 10th Street. And this is Marine Drive, and since the only thing that's off to the right are the wharfs, I'm going to assume that Commercial Street is this way. It's a pretty small, little walkable downtown. So here is 10th and Commercial. I see there's a sandwich board over on the sidewalk there that says Astoria Column. And there's lots of people waiting here. So this is the right spot. So I don't know how often the bus comes here. It's 1 o'clock, so we're basically halfway through the port day now. So that's the downtown shuttle. That's not the one that goes up to Astoria Column. The guy who was selling the tickets way back when we left the ship mentioned that these buses are the ones that are too tall to make it up the hill to the column. Here, runners. They totally ran over that traffic cone. Trying to pull out. See how it looks. Oh, it's gone. Where's it? Oh, there it is. Oh man, now it's stuck underneath the front of that car. I was going to try to go rescue it, but... Okay, so this looks like the Astoria Column bus. Now I'm going to have to see if they'll let me pay on board. That'll be the next challenge. And if they have change, because I only have 20s.
2,
1.
1.
Thank you so much.
I know you paid.
Thank you.
No, what happened? Oh, that's a funny story, actually. What happened was Dad was in Portland.
So the driver turned out to be quite the character. He tells all kinds of stories while we're waiting for the time that the trolley's supposed to leave. The trolley leaves at the bottom of every hour, so it's now 1:30. But we got some entertaining stories while we were waiting. This route just goes up and up and up, zigzagging through these streets. So there's no admission charge, just what we paid to ride the bus?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Awesome.
That's the only thing.
Okay, cool, thank you. Just hit 10,000 steps for the day. So 32 steps to the first landing. "37 steps to this landing." "21 the third landing." So let's see. 21 plus 37. 58 plus 32, so that's 90 so far. So I think that was 33. I'm a little confused whether it was 23 or 33, but I think 33. Looks like I'm almost there. So 90, 33, 21. That's 144. Sorry. 20. So I counted 164. Wow. It's a nice breeze up here to reward you after the hike. You can see the ship poking up just beyond the hill there. So it would be to the left of the bridge. And then you can see the funnel sticking up. I see people walking up and down this path. Saw a number of people walking down as we were riding the bus up. So it's possible to walk down. It actually looks like it's closer to walk down than the route the bus took because the road has a lot more curves in it. There's no way I would walk up, but lots of people are walking down. There's the Maritime Museum. So I still have 7 minutes before that trolley leaves. I have a feeling that I can make the 2 o'clock trolley. So I'm gonna hike back down. Super gorgeous views up here. So we made it in 2 minutes until the trolley leaves. So we did the Astoria Column. So I had planned to walk back toward the museum and catch the trolley, but since I'm already this far up, I think I'm just gonna keep walking toward the ship. I worry that if I went back to the museum, the trolley could come back pretty full. Like it looked full when I saw it earlier. I wanted to ride the trolley. And I guess there's always the possibility too that I could try the method of waving a dollar bill if I see the trolley. So we'll see. But instead of walking back toward the museum, I'm just gonna head toward the ship because I think I'm only 20 minutes or so. There goes the trolley right there. Headed in the direction of the museum. So if I walked toward the museum, I wouldn't make it anyway. I'm wearing a hoodie and it's very warm today. At least very warm for Astoria standards. It's probably 80 degrees. Long story short, I'm overdressed for the weather and it's pretty warm. And you know you're in Oregon when you see a speed limit sign that doesn't have the word limit on it. So we're coming up to the end of US 30, and this is not just the end of any ordinary road. US 30 is the 3rd longest highway in America. And here it is, the end of US 30. After 3,100 miles all the way across the country, unceremoniously ends right here at the base of the Astoria Megler Bridge. I want to point out that lots of people walk the path. I thought maybe I'd be the only one, but in both directions it was a very common choice. So that's a look at my day here in the port of Astoria. Thanks for coming along with me. Hope you enjoyed my adventures. There's so much more to do here in Astoria, but you kind of need a car. Would have loved to have gone to Lewis and Clark's fort. I met some other people on the ship who were headed to the Tillamook cheese factory and could have gone down the Oregon coast for a little while, but I'll have to save those for a future trip. I think you could say that I packed a lot into my short 6-hour stay here off the ship. And it looks like we're boarding on deck 4, so that means no elevator for me. It's always nice when you can just walk straight to your cabin. And then we're going through security right here in the Centrum. Pretty cool. This is Postcard Dan in Astoria, Oregon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it with other people too. And if you enjoy the content on my channel, well, I'd be honored to have you as a subscriber. Thank you for watching.